Hello and welcome to another exciting LEGO build and review show. I'm Beta Ray Ben for Pixel Spank, and today I've got Thor's Weapon Quest from the hit film Avengers Infinity War. You may have seen it. I think it's a rough recreation of when Thor, Rocket, Groot and Peter Dinklage, I forget his name, were on Nidavellir, I think, and were making his Stormbreaker hammer. Looking at it, you get 3 minifigs, a kind of forge thing, and Rocket's little trash ship. So yeah, not a lot on the box really. Just a little bit of well, actually, I'm saying it's descriptions of what's what, but I don't know that it is. Let's get in there. It's got like thumb punch holes to open it instead of using like a knife or whatever. It didn't really open it. It just ripped the box. That's all. How refreshing to have one of these that doesn't fill the entire table. Let's leave that there. RRP £20, I'm guessing. There's a label on it still. It's not just a label, there's actually one of those little security tags on the back, which I think sets an alarm off. It's good that they didn't remove it. Alright, instructions that aren't a huge book. Stickers, surprisingly stickers. You don't often get stickers in little sets like this. And just 2 bags, well that should go together pretty quickly, I should think. Let's just do the quick version of me building this, and then we'll get to the actual review part of it, shall we? Well, that was a slightly smaller build than I expected. The ship is very nice. Got it here. It's very detailed. It's got this cool bubble at the front, like the clear plastic dome. It's got one at the back as well, which looks cool. I like that. It's I'm trying to think if it's really to scale or not, because in the film, this little pod is what the 3 characters, it's teenage Groot, Thor and Rocket, they fly to Nidavellir. And it's big enough for them all to be in there, but there's not enough privacy for Groot to urinate. But there's 2 seats at the very least, one at the front and one at the back. So I think, like, let's try it. Will they all fit in there? If I take off Thor's lightning, we'll get to the characters in a minute. If I take off all their shticks, will they all slot in there somewhat? Okay, yeah, they all fit. Right, I've now decided that, yeah, it is to perfect scale, that's fine. Getting them out is another matter entirely. Alright, there. Yeah, so the ship's actually quite cool. It's got a few little moving parts. These sort of fins can be shifted up and down. I haven't seen the film for a while, so I can't really remember what it looks like, but it seems like it's pretty accurate. Part of me wants to believe that these ones on the bottom turn down and they're like landing skids, but that's probably not true. They've also got guns. They've got the kind that fire studs, which is 50-50. It will either fire like a stud 1,000 meters at the speed of sound, or it won't go more than like an inch. But Let's test it against this board, shall we? Ready? Wow, let's test it some more against the board. Okay, I've just ripped the roof of the ship off, but it's fine. So yeah, that's pretty good actually. It's got some good range to it, as often these things do. A lot of it comes down to like sort of just how well the little firing mechanism sits in the chamber, and it can vary. I've noticed. So that's a ship. Ship's nice. I would say that's like the key piece of the set. In these little sets, it tends to be like you might get a cool vehicle, some kind of set dressing, and then the minifigs. So look at the minifigs next. We got Rocket, who is just very slightly shorter. He comes up to about 4 shoulders, I would say. It's a good figure actually. The face is really good. It's not a standard Lego face. It's a raccoon's head, which is fine. And he has a tail, which is great actually. Kind of it fits in a bit like a belt, kind of a reverse cape situation. And weirdly, his head isn't just his head. If I take it off, I can't take it. It can't be removed. But his head also encompasses his kind of his shoulders, or more like a kind of bit of clothing he's wearing. So that's a weird thing. His legs don't bend. In fact, looking at it, I now realise that's how they got the height down, is they took out what would technically be more his knees, but is actually kind of his pelvis, if anything. It's like they took out from like half of the thigh up to the bottom of the crotch region to shorten him, because the torso is the same size as like a standard minifig. So there's Rocket. I like Rocket. He's good. In fact, I'm gonna get him. He can be flying the ship. God damn it. It's actually very hard to get him flying the ship because he can't bend his knees, so you can't sit him down in it. And he's like the exact height of it, so you know what? Okay, he's in there. We'll pretend he's flying it. He's a raccoon. He's not always just sit up straight. He'll be hunched over. I'll skip 4 for now. There's Groot, which it took me a while to realise what was going on here. The issue I've got with Groot is it doesn't look like teenage Groot. It looks like just adult Groot. And I don't know how they'd make that come across, to be honest, because, well, I suppose the thing is, adult Groot is much taller. Teenage Groot is roughly man-sized, so they got that going for him. But, like, the generalness of the body feels like standard Groot. He also comes with this branch whip affair, which, when I saw it in the pictures, I thought it was like a wooden walking stick for him. There's that as well. And I've decided that he should also carry this spare stick, which we'll come on to later. So it almost looks like a slingshot, but it adds to his woodiness. So that's quite cool. And the head mold on this is pretty good. It's got a good look to it. And he does have thighs, so he can sit down. And then 4 in this, he's got like his hair's got a lot more going on. It's a lot thicker and generally like bigger and spikier than I remember it. It's like sort of halfway between the shaved head look, the somewhat shaven head look, and like a Saiyan. It's halfway between that, a Super Saiyan, I suppose. He's also got blue glowing eyes, which is quite cool. And he comes with a number of these attachments, which a few figures get. I know, I think Scarlet Witch had one, where you can attach like lightning blasts to his hand, which is quite cool. And there's actually a couple of different ones, a couple of different blasts specifically, and you can swap them out. And they're quite easy to swap out actually, as I've just proven. I'm quite a fan of this weird, and how's this going? I don't even know how it goes on actually. I think it just clips on. Nope. It's in the picture. Maybe he just holds it. Let's not do that one. There's this one. It's kind of like a shield. He projects like a lightning shield. It's partially between shield and umbrella, I would say, for sort of a singing in the rain vibe. And he's got these ones that are like sort of lightning fists, which are quite cool. It's one of those things where it looks quite good in like a picture. I tend to find, and like if you're doing like sort of stylized scenes, but like just on its own, it never looks that great. But it's nice, and there's a load of them. and they're kind of, you could probably figure out some stuff to do them. And now there's this little bit here. This is like the set piece of the affair. So in the film, he has to like light up the star, and then that shoots a beam that melts the metal that makes the thing. I guess the equivalent in this is instead he's shooting the beam, he's hitting this bit here, and it makes it spin, I suppose. I don't really know what they're going for with that. It looks kind of cool, but it doesn't look reminiscent of anything I remember from the film. I might be wrong, but I don't recall any of this nonsense. And then this little sliding drawer comes into play. Behold, and in said drawer is Stormbreaker, which I feel they took a risk here. They had two options with Stormbreaker. They could have made it like its own solidly moulded piece, like a lot of the guns characters have, a bit similar to this stick he's got. But they went a different route of a kind of a build your own Stormbreaker, and it's not. I don't think it's quite come out right. I'll be honest, I didn't follow the instructions exactly right. So here's Thor holding the Stormbreaker. You see it. I'm sure I've got a close up somewhere on the screen. So in their instructions, they wanted the blade underneath the sort of counterweight of it. But when I made that, it looked wrong. So it's made up of about 5 pieces. This whole hammer Stormbreaker. Thor's arms look a bit odd, I must admit. Yeah, they lack the bulk of Chris Hemsworth. But I think the problem with it is it's slightly too short as a hammer. In my mind, in the film, Stormbreaker, well, you see Groot picks it up sort of by the forearm, then grows his forearm. So if you assume, well, Groot has long arms anyway, so if it's like twice the length of that, that means it's going to be at least like this long, or roughly speaking, what? Proportional to Thor. It's a big fucking hammer, is what it is, and it's not quite long enough in this, and therefore, because it's not long enough, it can't be big enough to like get the right detail. So it kind of looks right, but it's not quite there. It does need a longer handle. I'll be honest, the thing that's really missing from this set is it Nedry? No, the dwarf, Peter Dinklage's character. It seems odd because like that whole scene, he's kind of pivotal in it. You could probably get away without having Groot in there, to be honest, because he doesn't really do all that much in it. It would fit elsewhere. But where's my giant dwarf? I feel we should have like something akin to like the Ant-Man from Civil War. Just a giant dwarf, just to round the set out. Because to be honest, for 20 quid, I think it's a bit stingy as a set. I'm trying to think comparison wise. There's 3 minifigs in there, which is pretty good. I'm comparing this mostly to the Yoda's Starfighter. That's what I'm thinking of in that sort of ballpark. And I would say Yoda's Starfighter is just that bit bigger. It's more detailed, and I think the trouble is it's not a very iconic design, this as is. So sort of on its own, it's not. 12 to 15 pounds, fine. Up to 20, it's just that little bit too much in my mind. But there's some cool stuff in here. Get some minifigs. Some people pay just for that, I suppose. Yeah, that's spinning. You can actually make Thor hold these bits of lightning as well if you're really trying to build up the scene. I don't know to what end. Getting Groot to hold this stick as well is not easy because it's like it's made of rubber. It's very flexible. It's a kind of stick whip, which I'll have to pay closer attention to in the film. I guess it's kind of like when he sticks his arm out like through people, isn't it? It's a bit like that. Oh yeah, and another bit of this set is this bit here. Is this meant to be an Infinity Stone at the back here? This kind of purple gem-like thing. It honestly feels a bit like they made this set like on an early draft of the film, and they were like giving instructions of Like, Thor gets a hammer, these 3 characters are here, use this ship, and then this bit they kind of had to make on their own. So they thought, yeah, there'll be an Infinity Stone involved. Which weirdly came on this like purple ring. There's 4 of them attached to it, and you have to break them off, which is, for me, unheard of in Lego. And it was odd, it didn't ever actually tell you to break them off. It showed you that they came from the ring, and that the ring didn't want to be attached. But at the same time, it never said, snap them off the ring, which is an odd bit of instruction. The stickers work well in this set as well. I'm looking at them. It's, one thing this ship has got going for it, which is good, is a lot of colour in it, surprisingly. It doesn't look it, I know. There's a lot of grey, but there's blue, there's light blue, there's some greens in there, and there's a lot of orange as well, which, after doing a lot of Star Wars based stuff, which is 90% light grey and 60% light grey, 40% dark grey, with a 1% margin of error for everything else. I can't get this last bastard. I don't even know why I want it off. There's no point to these little things. These tiny little gemstones. Maybe I can make a bit of an Infinity Gauntlet with it. Yeah, so that was the, what's it called? It had a weird name as well. Thor's Weapon Quest. See, even that name just there, it makes me think, did they design this set without having a full idea of what the build would be? Yeah. It says 1-to-1 scale on Groot there, and it's actually correct. In fact, hang on. On the box, the picture of Stormbreaker, the axe head is significantly more detailed in the picture. It's got runes clearly carved into it, the actual one. Okay, that's actually quite clever. I'm looking at the wrong side of it. In fact, weirdly, the one on the box is a mirror image of the one I've got. That's an odd detail to have. And what I thought was runes carved into it is in fact just the word Lego and a product number 535. Is that the name of the set? No, just a number. So that's fine. And it also shows. There's an image of Groot holding the gem in a little setting, which looks very, very Infinity Stone to me as well. It seems strange that they'd have that. In fact, they've got him holding it, but I don't know if he can even hold it now that is it possible? Yes, they've got Groot holding that, which, yeah, Groot does help in the construction of the thing, but he doesn't do any of that. So I'm genuinely of the assumption that they probably threw this together without really knowing what was going to occur. I'm trying to see if there's any more pictures. There's pictures of, there's a regular picture of Thanos and a Lego-ish version of Thanos in here. And yeah, the Lego Infinity Gem in his gauntlet is this sort of gem. So I feel this is from a different version of the script where they get a hold of the purple gem, which is the power gem, and use that to forge Thor's new hammer. Which I can kind of see happening in a version where, you know, they go to Xandar and the Guardians. I don't know. That's an interesting little thing. I suspect knowledge of that has already come out and is fully available online, but it's new to me, and I've learned it on my own and made it up. It might not be true. That's the factor. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.